I found the lump when I was breastfeeding the second one, and I found out I was pregnant with the third. And because I was 28 and healthy, they said come back when you're done with this pregnancy and when you're done breastfeeding. And I did, and at that point it was stage 2 and it had spread. When I went in to have the lumpectomy, they were going to put me under anesthesia, but they did the routine pregnancy test, and she came back in and she said, do you know you're pregnant? It's baby number 4. And I said, no, I did not, because it was too soon. I had missed my period. And so then the surgeon came in and he said, we really need to get this out today. We're going to do it under a local. So I was awake during the surgery, and I could hear him, and he said, I don't like this. It doesn't look good. Yeah, it was scary. I was scared. I was terrified. I had little boys at home.
Cancer is when cells in the body start growing in an abnormal pattern and out of control. Usually cells grow and they go through a cell cycle and eventually they die. But cancer cells do not do that. They continue to grow and they become kind of immortal. And by doing so, they cause destruction to surrounding normal structures. Nowadays, most breast cancer is found on screening mammograms. Mammograms are x-rays that are done to the breast, and their purpose is to detect early breast cancer. So the majority of breast cancer is discovered at an early stage because of this good screening modality.
I did not do radiation because of the pregnancy. I had to wait until the second trimester to start chemo. So I went ahead and had a mastectomy. Did not do radiation because you can't do that when you're pregnant. And 3 weeks after I finished chemo, Nolan was born, very healthy. Life goes on. Kids get older. And I started feeling sick, had a cold that wouldn't go away, you know, aches and pains, and you're just going on with life and you're busy. I went to the gynecologist for a checkup, and she ran some tumor marker numbers. And so she called me and she said, your tumor marker numbers are really high. So I got back in touch with Dr. Fox, and he did a scan, and the cancer had come back. And it looks like they think that it came back in the mastectomy side of my breast. On my scar line, there was a lump, but it felt like scar tissue. So, and they don't do mammograms when you have a mastectomy. They always do a mammogram on the other side. After the scan, it showed that the cancer had spread to my liver, my lungs, and multiple bones.
In any cancer in general, staging is a prognostic tool. So the purpose of staging is to be able to tell the patient what is the overall prognosis. Usually a stage 1 cancer is limited to the organ that it starts with. Stage 2 through 3 to 4, it starts getting more advanced. It starts going somewhere else or spreading. So when somebody is in stage 4, it depends on the cancer, but it does not mean it is incurable, but the chances of a cure become very low.
The Women's Hospital delivers comprehensive health care to women and infants through inpatient and outpatient obstetrical, gynecologic, and education programs. The Women's Hospital, only at Deaconess.
The first thing they did was they did radiation on my spine, because that was causing me a lot of leg pain. And it wiped everything out, put it right back in its place, so that my scan showed NED, which is no evidence of disease, which is the best thing a stage 4 cancer patient can hope for. And then I routine scan, because I still would see him, I think every 2 months.
Every 2?
Mm-hmm, every 2 to 3 months when everything was going okay, and he would do a scan every 3 months. And then the scan showed that there was another spot in my liver and a spot on my hip. And I started getting these lovely shots in my hips, 2 big needles once a month, and those blocked the rest of the estrogen. And then Ibrance was a pill that I took at home. Of course, the medication lasted well for a year and did well. And then this 2 months ago, we found out it wasn't working again. And so there's a bunch of faint spots in my pelvic bones. So I'm on a new treatment.
So where do you go from here? What does your diagnosis mean?
It means that I will be on continued treatment for breast cancer for the rest of my life.
Stage 4 that you treat and either progresses on the first-line treatment or comes back within the 5 years needs a second-line treatment and a third-line treatment, and then it becomes a chronic disease. The way we look at it is this would be a chronic illness that would require something to keep it in control, similar to what diabetes can do. A recurrent stage 4 or a recurrent breast cancer, whatever stage it is, or a metastatic breast cancer, might require continuous treatment of some sort to keep it in control.
The cancer finds a way to break through the medicine that you're on. You know, one course of treatment can hold it back for however long, and then the cancer learns to adapt and overcome, and it starts coming back again. We'll just keep battling it and changing medicines as we need to. I don't think I have a fear of death as much as other women in my position do. And I can't say that for everyone, but a lot of them. There's so much tragedy. I mean, there's so many unexpected deaths. I will walk out the door tomorrow and get in a car accident. I can't worry about that any more than I can worry about what's going on right now. But life goes on. I've got a house full of teenage boys. There's not really a whole lot of time to sit on the couch and think about what's gonna happen. The one thing I am very thankful for is that everything has gone so well up to this point, because even if something happens tomorrow, breast cancer or not, my boys know who I am. You know, they'll remember me. They're not small like some women are diagnosed with this so early and their kids are little and, they don't make it to see their kids grow up. So I'm grateful for that. The truth about breast cancer is that there are plenty of women that are going to beat it and they're going to be survivors. And there's plenty of women that are not going to beat it and they're going to pass away from it. But then there's 100,000 of us in the United States living with it like I do every day. Going to the doctor and taking medicine and still living a normal life, looking normal. The truth about breast cancer, there's people that live with breast cancer.